Hello, hello, hello. This is Cyborg.
And Bumblebee.
And tonight, or today, whenever you're awake listening to this, we're going to be talking about.
Ultimate X-Men issue 13 and 14.
So, I will say, these are a doozy because it's talking about depression and a lot of other things, abandonment. Holy crap, man. Go ahead, Bumblebee, because I don't know if I can. Oof.
So this issue kind of picks up after the last arc. We are in the astral plane. Hisako and the Shadow King are in the astral plane, and I believe the Maester is kind of controlling it at this point. Either the Shadow King or the Maester or one or the other are in control. Pretty much this whole issue was Hisako fighting her friends.
Right.
Her friend, like all her friends are well, representations of her friends are in the astral plane. They're all fighting using her. She's fighting them. They're trying to help her, but she's kind of giving some punches to them.
Yeah, she going through it. I'll say that much.
And the Shadow King is kind of encouraging her out. He's kind of corrupted her, I feel like. Or at least, he's definitely manipulated and like pushing on that button of her guilt of her friend passing away.
Yeah, basically saying you're one of the reasons why type mess, and it's really hurting her because she actually believes it as well.
May Storm is in the astral plane and she has a mask on and she's declared herself May Storm and she's going to unite everybody.
Which is good. I like that one. I really like that's good. I hope it actually works out.
Psylocke is there, or Cannon. I think that's how you pronounce her name. All of her friends are trying to stop her, but it's not working. In the end, we see that the Shadow King, we see that he's in the back and he's smiling. And the girls that know him are like, this, I don't think I've ever seen him smile, but he's kind of sitting there smiling.
Call a spade a spade.
He he's been obsessed with our main character and he's declared that she's his soulmate and all of that. But, at the end of the issue, we kind of get back to present day, and both the Shadow King and Hisako are in, I don't know what you call this, a tank?
For my Dragon Ball Z fans, it's kind of like a tank that Goku was in to get regenerated after the fight with Cell. Well, not Cell. Before the fight with Cell. No, before the fight with Frieza. Sorry. Anybody else? It is literally just them sitting in a tank with breathing masks on.
So they're pretty much in a tank, and the Maester is controlling what's happening to an extent, from what I can understand.
Yeah, like I said, he's controlling their minds and using more so the Shadow King to pretty much put her in a state of depression, sadness, and anger.
And he's like, he's trying to control. He said, if I can control their emotional states, then the world will be in our hands.
Correct. Which is what I just said, but more lengthy.
Yeah,
lengthy, I should say.
So that was issue 13. Issue 14 continues in the astral plane. There's still fighting going on, but there's a whole bunch of new people that are introduced into the astral plane.
Right.
But before we get into that, we see that Viper has come to talk to Maester, and she's pretty much like, make sure that this experiment goes well, otherwise you're done.
Pretty much. Like, do whatever you have to do,
Push them to their limits, test them, do what you got to do, but
make sure they don't die.
pretty much. And, you know, in terms of back to the astral plane, we see that they have brought in that other Children of the Atom person that was in the hospital area with the Shadow King.
Yeah.
But then it morphs into Surge, and she starts fighting Maystorm in the astral plane.
Which, what it looks like, she has an upgrade.
She has some claws, some like Wolverine claws, it looks like.
It looks interesting.
And her outfit is a little different.
I would say I like it. I like the art style. It looks nice. I could definitely get into this more and more.
And we see, in this issue, we see that, I'm probably saying these names completely wrong, but Tsubasa, he appears in the astral plane, and I'm hoping that this is what's going to help her, you know, get out of this. But that kind of initiates a flashback to when she kind of hurt him, when she dismissed his omimori, his gift.
Omimori or Omimari?
Omamori. Again, I'm probably saying this wrong.
It's okay, you are forgiven.
But it cuts back and gives us full context of what happened when she denied that it was hers and hurt him, because, you know, the other students in their class were making fun of it.
Making fun of her, making fun of it, making fun of him. She didn't stand up for him, and he felt that. And then in the background, you see the Shadow King, who picks it up and tries to give it back to her.
But and this is where she denies it, and then he kind of walks out the classroom.
Yeah.
And in this instance, we see that she kind of is having a little moment, and then she kind of coughs it up out of her mouth, and then like shadow starts coming out of her. That's the end of that little flashback, and then we cut into present day with what's actually happening with her friends. Nico and Mori kind of sneak their way into Maystorm's little meeting with her opposition X-Men, and they're talking, or, you know, they participate in the meeting, and then at the end of the meeting they talk to her and are like, you know, we're all trying to find Natsu and Hisako. They have both kind of gone missing, so now the little group, the group of friends, are gonna try to find their other friends that have gone missing.
Right. And I guess you would call them this side of it the X-Men.
Yes, they called, or Maystorm called them the X-Men.
So.
And they were all wearing masks.
There you go. The X-Men of this.
Of the Ultimate Universe.
Oof. And they just babies.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they got some power behind their punches, so they ain't that much of a baby.
Yeah. High school students.
Yep.
Not that that's completely unheard of, because yeah.
Teens with attitudes. But they're not Power Rangers.
Nope.
This was a good 2 issues. I very much enjoyed it. I can guarantee you guys will enjoy it as well. Check out your local comic book store and pick up other issues. But if you can't get to your comic book store, check out the app.
The Marvel Unlimited app.
And I can guarantee you'll find more there than anywhere. But as always, you guys take care. Be good to you and your friends. Peace.